Out of the cloth of a generation, man weaves a dream. It is a heart's breath blown into an instrument that violates silence. And this dream culminates in the definition of an idea. Devious, various, and violent deeds are enacted in the name of an idea. All of the hundreds of lies that go to make it truth. For the instrument is man, and he is at best a frail instrument. An idea is not defined by one man, but by a host of men. It is in the work of their hands, their talk, their hopes, their doubts, their dreams. I introduce myself as this host, the teacher, the farmer, the servant, as the everyman of Delaware who lived 200 years ago. I would like to tell a story, the story of a man, General Caesar Rodney, who, through great personal sacrifice, courage, and a sense of duty, helped to make the dream of a generation become a reality. In 1776, at the time of Caesar Rodney's famous ride, the state of Delaware was portioned into 3 counties: Sussex County in the south, Kent and Newcastle counties in the north. No one can be certain of the exact route of Caesar Rodney's ride, but a fair guess can be made by considering the bridges, fords, and ferries that crossed the many rivers and creeks that flowed out of the Delaware River. It was a long and arduous ride over country lanes, along Indian trails, over flooded creeks, at last to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, the most crucial city in America in that fateful year of 1776. It was in late June of 1776. The Third Continental Congress was convened in Philadelphia to debate the question of independence from the Crown. General Caesar Rodney, with his Delaware militia, a ragtag group of farmers, millers, and tanners, was sent to Sussex County to confront the Tory loyalists who had instigated a series of uprisings in support of the Crown. General Rodney, a delegate to the convention, along with Thomas McCain and George Reed, was thus drawn miles away from the crucial debate raging in Philadelphia. A resolution had been passed in the Delaware Assembly at Newcastle. Henceforth, the 3 counties that comprise the state of Delaware shall be free and independent of England. In fact, there were many who wanted desperately to hang on to the old ways. They owned farms that they had worked lifetimes for, their trades, their businesses. These people in Boston and Philadelphia were fools, ne'er-do-wells, rabble, and worse. We are God-fearing people who know on which side the bread is buttered. God save the king and hang the rebels in effigy. So it was in Sussex County they raised a mockery of the liberty pole and hung high an effigy of Caesar Rodney.
Hold the fire on there. Burn their flag. First, men.
The state of Delaware was virtually at civil war.
Hang him! Hanging's too eminent for him.
There's nothing!
Is this what I call freedom? Pooh! Our money down, rebel!
A little Newcastle honey will sweeten his sour disposition.
Right there.
He's
Right, freedom!
You fool! Freedom!
It looks like
What do you
King
know
George.
about freedom?
Neighbor was turned against neighbor. Inflamed emotions have a way of distorting truth to a passion, and there were mean little minds who used this excuse. They attacked their debtors and humiliated them. There were many a rebel who used principle for a fool's coin, and you can bet that they paid for that honey and flour with blood before the thing was out.
There's nothing!
Playing a bloody King's game.
Caesar Rodney retired with the militia to Kit's Hummock just below Dover to await developments. Meanwhile, the debate in Congress grew to a climax. Unknown to Rodney, the Delaware delegation was deadlocked. Thomas McCain sent an urgent messenger to seek out Rodney.
Lieutenant?
Sir.
How does the situation look to you, Caesar? Real things being done in Philadelphia. Our people need more than these proclamations. We've got to keep their blood up. We can count on McCain. But Reed has me worried. He's a cautious man, damn him, and a cautious man at a time like this can be dangerous. I think he'll come around to our way. Perhaps. I hope so.
The Delaware vote split. McKean for and Reed against. Formal vote on the floor tomorrow. I urge you to make haste to Philadelphia. McKean. God, what they asked of me.
But you're in no condition.
I really don't have any choice, Thomas. I have to go to Philadelphia immediately. Lieutenant, would you sound the drum? I'd like to speak to my troops.
Sir.
Present arms.
Sir, you care to inspect your troops?
I'd like to speak to them.
Yes, sir.
Troops.
At ease.
Men, I've just received an urgent message from Thomas McKean. The vote of the Delaware delegation is deadlocked. I am preparing to leave for Philadelphia to give my vote on the matter of independence. Before us lies a decision that may bring grave consequences. Before I give that vote, I would know your feelings concur with my own. How say ye on the matter of independence for the colonies?
Liberty! Liberty!
It was a brutal trip from Dover to Philadelphia in those days at best. But now time was of the essence. Caesar Rodney suffered from asthma, and there was the ever-present pain of the cancer upon his face, from which he had suffered for 10 years. What were his thoughts? The colonials were surrounding Boston. His own Delaware was in a state of anarchy, and everything he had staked his very life upon depended upon the success of this journey. He had cast his lot with destiny, and now it was reduced to an act of almost superhuman endurance. This morning, ladies, we shall conjugate verbs. See, saw, seen. For example, I see, I saw, I have seen. Now here's something to see. Look, that's General Rodney, probably on his way to Philadelphia. There are many important men there working for independence. Remember what you saw. Well, let's get back to the lesson now. Here's another example. I ride, I rode, I have ridden. What are the composites of a beginning nation? Beyond the geography and the people, there is a legend. It comes of the seasons grown into the years of a lifetime, the seed and the harvest of a man and a man's love. the birth of their children, the place names, a thing, literally, of the people. Parts and pieces of all of this go with Caesar Rodney on his journey. The declaration of a proud people to state their identity.
Smith, I need a horse right away.
It was along the flatlands of lower Delaware, through woods and over carved lanes that followed the Indian trails, across the creeks and rivers with names like Christina, Brandywine. He would switch horses along the route at way stations, hamlets, and taverns, deeper into his own dream that was to become America.
Who's there? I say, who's there?
Caesar Rodney.
Good Lord, sir, you're soaked to the bones. Here, drink this. I fetched the doctor to your aid, sir.
You are aware, Dr. McDonough, that the bridge over the creek up the road is out?
Usually is during these summer storms.
Well, it's going to be a long night.
That it will. That it will. Are you certain, sir, you will not reconsider? There's room here, and with a few hours' rest, possibly.
No.
It was Dr. McDonough's firm conviction that Caesar Rodney could not survive the rigors of his ride. It was sheer folly from a medical point of view, and could very well hasten the breakdown of his precarious health. Yet he would do the best he could for the man, and send him along his way.
An ale.
We keep the king's coin.
Why, woman, don't you know who that is? Why, that there's Caesar Rodney of the Delaware militia, headed the whole shebang in the colony to boot.
I don't give a fig if he's John Adams himself, or George III neither. You don't look none too reputable to me.
No, he don't. He don't at all. Some old scarecrow you find out in the field. Hey, look at everyone. Look at Rodney. One of your sons' liberties, they say.
The sound of horses' hooves broke the deep silence of Newcastle early on the morning of the 2nd of July. They echoed up the cobbles and further along the square past the courthouse. The old town crier who walked the town at night and soothed it in its sleep might have noticed the weary traveler, would have paused, searched, and noted this Caesar Rodney, and then continued his vigil through the night.
Three of the clock and all is well in the town of Newcastle.
Smyrna, Duck Creek to Cantwell's Bridge, Appoquinimink Creek, Blackbird, the Red Lion, Tyebout's Corner, Newcastle, Wilmington, the Christina River, Brandywine Creek and up the King's Road, over Shellpot Creek and up Penny Hill to Gray's Ferry, down across the open country and the farm fields of Pennsylvania, past the stone barns, the worm fences, the rutted roads that ran from hamlet to hamlet, a string grown ever tighter to a desperate moment.
The point here is, Ben, I don't think you were ready because the time is not right.
I disagree, George. I'm sorry.
I have no argument with the contents of the resolution. The timing is wrong.
That's a start very soon.
No.
I agree, John. It is written. It's been rewritten, George.
Yes, I am sorry, but I couldn't in good honesty to myself or my...
We need Caesar's vote. There's no evidence. We've got to have it. There's no tyranny. And we know his vote is going to be yea. He should be here shortly.
You don't understand.
I think.
You don't. Look, I have nothing, as they say, against the contents of the resolution. My concern is that the time is wrong.
You've been against the revolution from the start, George.
Concept is what we're voting on.
If we are voting only on the
We've been here for
concept.
several years. It's time to act on the resolution now.
We have to stand on our own.
Gentlemen,
Let's be...
I can't change. I can't change my stance on this. I do not think the time is right.
This shows that we do need Caesar's vote.
When was the time? Would the Secretary please call the roll on the resolution for independence?
Connecticut.
Connecticut says yea on the resolution for independence.
Delaware.
It is my opinion that all sensible and honest men are in favor of independence. My own judgment concurs with them. Delaware votes for independence.
Thank you, Caesar.
Philadelphia, July the 4th, 1776. Sir, I have enclosed you a summons directed to the sheriff to summon the members for our county to meet in assembly at Newcastle on the 22nd day of this instant, which I hope you will have put into his hands as soon as possible after it comes to yours. I arrived in Congress, though detained by thunder and rain. Time enough to give my voice in the matter of independence. It is determined by the 13 united colonies without even one dissenting colony. We have now got through with the whole of the Declaration and ordered it to be printed so that you will soon have the pleasure of seeing it. Handbills of it will be printed and sent to the armies, cities, counties, towns, to be published or rather proclaimed in form. Don't neglect to attend closely and carefully to my harvest, and you'd obliged.